Welcome. I am Asa Lanham, the Chief Executive Officer of Innovaro, and I'd like to take a little of your time to talk about the Launchpad methodology mapping. And in this video, this presentation, we'll take a look at how our Launchpad software products and that technology maps into our methodology. If you haven't taken a look at the methodology yet, you really ought to do that in our methodology overview, which will give you a good feel for what that is, because otherwise you're going to get a little lost in here, okay? If you've done the methodology, you'll recognize this slide as showing the four I's of innovation: ideation, incubation, investigation, and implementation, and how our methodology, what we do with our process, maps into those to help you successfully complete an innovation journey. And what I'm going to do is first tell you a little bit about the products to give you a quick overview of those, and then I'll talk about how they map into that innovation process. The Launchpad family is comprised of 4 products. And the first of those, which sits both inside and outside the family, is a product we call Listen. Listen is all about sentiment analysis. It allows you to monitor social media. It allows you to collect sentiment, how people feel about things and what they say about them, and to make that part of the knowledge that you have within your company. The second product in the group is Imagine, and Imagine focuses on the ideation and incubation phases of the 4 I's. And it looks at discovery, ideation, and elaboration. It automatically collects a large amount of relevant data. It converts that data into information through semantic analysis and assists users to generate insights. The ideation phase goes into crashing, which helps users generate lots of ideas. And then the semantic engine helps convert the ideas into product platforms. And then guided dialogues lead a user to flesh out those platforms into business concepts. And elaboration is really the guided dialogues that make those into business concepts. The third product in the family is Design. And Design, again, is a set of guided dialogues that we've built that has the questions, the exercises, the information you need in order to actually build out a good business model. And then last in the series is Accelerate. And Accelerate is on the implementation phase, which really is the moving from innovation into commercialization. And it's all about experimentation and those kinds of things. And that software has not been released to the marketplace yet. It is still under development. Okay? So the whole purpose of Launchpad is to help you find your future faster. Right? So let's talk a little bit about the first phase of this. And I've got 2 things on this slide. I've got Imagine, which is all about ideation and incubation, but I want to call your attention to a couple things first. If you take a look over at the left here, you'll see Listen. And the reason Listen is on here is Listen was originally conceived to be a product that would stand alone, that was built based on the strong capture and analytic capability we had. But we found out that as you started listening to things and gathering the information about sentiment and doing your analytics on that there was an awful lot of information in there that really applied to what we think of as consumer insights from a lens. And there are also ideas that are in there that people say, this would make a good product if they just did this. So what we did was we actually created a new lens in Imagine that's a sentiment lens. So if you use Listen as part of the family, you can automatically bring all the sentiment that's been captured in and use that as a way to begin to very quickly populate out the information you're trying to gather for that kind of stuff. The other one I'll talk about a little bit is what we call diagnose and challenge. And we work with our clients to help them define the problem they're trying to solve, right? And this is very important because as you go through an innovation journey, you're really going to be working on a particular problem, a particular kind of target that you want to get to out of this. You don't just go on these, willy-nilly and not knowing where you're going. As one of my bosses once said, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there, right? So we work to help to define the challenge. And then within that context, we work to help tailor the product. Now, we built Launchpad as a soft product. Soft meaning that a lot of the information that's in it, whether it's the guided dialogues with the questions, whether it's terms that are used, can be configured to fit a particular user's environment. So, if we call something an apple and you say it's a pear, well, we can make it a pear in your instance, right? So use the right term. Also, if a question doesn't apply to your environment, then you can take that out. You might have others that do apply that you want to put in there. So we allow you to really tailor that to fit yours. So then we really get into that, and you'll see the discover, ideation, and elaboration. And what Launchpad does here, first of all, it's got extremely powerful data capture capabilities. You can see some of the sources that we capture from down here. capture a variety of things from the web, whether it's Twitter or Facebook or Google Plus, Yelp. You can import from websites, all kinds of documents, Word, Excel, and that, and observations. Meaning, you're driving into work, you hear something that's important, you want to put it in there. You can literally come in and key it in, and have that be part of it. Now, that's great for capturing a lot of information, but then you're really trying to look at the key one is when you're awash in data, how do you get the information? How do you understand it? And that's where one of our powerful capabilities comes in with our semantic engine, right? And the semantic engine does automatic text mining. So when you feed this information in, it looks through what you fed it and does natural language processing and semantic analysis to look at what's in here that's meaningful, what's important, and to really analyze that out, and then to cross-correlate that with other pieces of information that are similar in nature. And we have annotation capabilities and tagging, and the semantic engine does that automatically, but we also provide a capability for our clients, our users, to be able to make special references and special tags and annotation on things as well that they think are important. And then with our clustering, the semantic engine actually takes a look at all this data and says, hey, this is how we think it fits together. It provides it in different visualization with tag clouds and with cluster graphs and that to help you understand it. And last but not least, the analytics to really put this together. So it's a very important step in moving from the capturing of data through the clustering into information to getting you ready to generate insights. And it is built around the methodology we talked about in our methodology presentation. Right? The second part of it is after you go through generating all those ideas, they come back into the semantic engine. And the semantic engine takes a look at all those ideas that you had and says, how do these fit together? So it gives you a place to start. Now, I want to make sure to stress the fact that this is not the be-all, end-all, because you as a user have the ability to take those clusters. You can say, I don't like that one. I want a different one. Let's change that one. So you get to edit those. You get to do with what you want or add others and do that, right? But the idea out of that is what you come out with is clusters of ideas that you can use to move into platforms. And then as you move into the elaboration stage, what we've done is we've built in a set of guided dialogues, and we built in knowledge that we know applies to defining platforms, to answering key questions and all the answers to that, and a set of templates you can use to help guide your thinking and your work, electronic templates that you can use that can come back into the system to be managed and maintained there. And the idea is it also integrates data and answers. So as you've been going through generating clusters of information and generating insights and generating ideas, it builds a DNA that actually builds up into these larger ideas. And we have a thing we refer to as reverse DNA, which says I can start at a business concept and I can walk all the way back through Imagine to see what the ideas were that were part of that and what the insights that generated them and those kinds of things. And the other part of it is working in the tool is great, but at some point in time you want to share all this information with others. So we have a way to automatically generate documents, PDFs in particular, that have your thoughts, have organized the underpinnings of that you can circulate outside of the organization. So that's Launchpad Listen and Launchpad Imagine with respect to ideation and incubation. So let's take a brief look at Design, which is our product in investigation. And we talked about the methodology in investigation. Design is a fairly powerful tool that we've put together that's comprised of guided dialogues. It has quite a bit of built-in knowledge and questions and answers. We continue to evolve that. At one point in time there were 12 steps in it, that you went through to get all the things you needed to do. But the key part about Design is that you have the ability to have a number of different alternative business models that you're exploring at the same time. Everything from what happens in the market if it's this, what happens if we can get this alliance, all those kinds of things. And again, it integrates the data and the answers, and it automatically takes the outputs that you had in Imagine and brings them in and starts to populate the business model to get you started. Now, you can use Design without Imagine. You can use Imagine without Listen. If you've got something that's there that you really want to work on your business model, you can pick up Design and you work with that to do that. Again, it does automated output. It actually builds out both documents and presentations for you to be able to give to talk to the people that you need to talk to move things forward. So that's Design. And then the last piece that we have that's under development is Accelerate. And Accelerate, again, has a set of guided dialogues and built-in knowledge. But it's all about a whole set of templates to help you generate experiments, to help you define what they are, and to do those things. So what we do is we facilitate your innovation journey using our methodology with a whole set of technologies and software, which makes it hopefully better, cheaper, faster for you to get through, but also maintains all that information. So all that knowledge you've built, all the stuff you've done doesn't get lost in the process. Now, it's not just a matter of having the fundamental functions. We supplement that with a couple, three things. One, we talk about e-learning, and we have a whole set of e-learning materials that are built fundamentally into the product. And these are oriented towards the various lenses, they're oriented towards the various stages, and that there are articles in there, there are videos that are set up to be able to give you information about what these various things mean. And we have a set of workbooks that are built in. Now, these workbooks literally are their step-by-step cookbooks to help walk you through that process. What's the actual recipe? What should you do? What's the next step? And that to do that, which actually support the work you need to do using the product. The second thing we have that's an integrated part of it is a collaboration facility. And we found two things. One, email really doesn't do it for collaboration. I mean, we've all got too much email in our baskets already. And collaboration tools are great, but they're used for lots of different things. So we built in a collaboration tool that's there that allows you to have threaded discussions in groups that are all about various topics, which keeps that. And by the way, the Semantic Engine looks at it and adds that in. We have a set of concepts we call drawers. So if you can define something you're working on. Let's say you've got a market research and you got a bunch of documents you want to put in. You can create a drawer for those documents. You can put them all in there. People can bring them out, look at them, and share them. If you've got a piece of information you just found you want to share, it's a great way to do it. You can put it up there and you can put it in one of the shared folders for other team members to see. And the third piece is the services. And services really isn't part of the software, but we know that this is all about a journey. And this is a very powerful capability. It's got a lot of functionality. It's got a lot of pieces in it. And our services are all about what I'll call innovation implementation. It's how do we get you successfully through your first journey, understanding the methodology and using the tool and collecting the information to make sure that you get a successful result and are able then to repeat that process on your own. So that's the key part of our services, innovation implementation. We also do integration. We have an open structure on the product. So if you want to import information from other products, other sources we have the ability to do that. We can help provide the integration of that. And Jumpstart, you want all the data, but you don't have time to get it. Let's talk about that because we have the capability to capture data for you as well. So that's really it with Launchpad and extended capabilities. And I want to thank you for listening. Goodbye.